Good evening. Welcome, and welcome. I see Nia is in the house this evening. Miss Ferris is in the house this evening. Real life, real time, real talk. I'm waiting, watching for the countdown. Okay, the countdown. Okay. Spitting Fives in the house this evening. Always glad to have you here. Love you big time. My good friend, Tammy, always 100, never, ever will she be fake. And A Powers has joined us again tonight. I love you big time. It's always a pleasure to see you pop up on the live feed. Dana, good evening. Welcome. Is that Larry? Barbara, good evening to you. Welcome. Welcome to tonight's live broadcast. I trust and hope that everyone has had a good day so far. The phone lines will be open tonight. Not yet. I just need to get some things out. And and we'll open the phone lines up this evening. Sandy has joined us. I love you. Thank you. Love you big time. So we have four stories tonight that we are going to attempt to cover. Lauren is in the house. Good evening. Faye is here. Welcome. Um, All right, my good friend Carolyn. Okay, all right, love you much. That's you. All right, let me know. I spoke with your mother today, probably about a couple hours ago, I think. Not that long. I spoke with her. I don't know. I didn't see the thing with Malcolm X with the toupee, but there is a. I think I said it last night, and I'm referring to what A Power has just said. She's asking about what's going on with the babies in Houston, Texas. I'm glad you see it the way I see it. It just seems like there is a spell over Houston, Texas, because it's almost back to back with babies missing, uh, running off, or later found dead. So it is a problem in Houston, Texas, and we do need to address that. Thank you so much, Carolyn. We love you big time. Appreciate you much. There is Victoria. Good evening. Somebody said so. Good evening, Victoria. Glad to have you with our live feed tonight. Oh, you what the hell? That's why you apologize. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you slide with that. She said, good evening. No, hello, Mr. Scott, but she meant to say Mr. Scott. Understandable. LaShawn Davis, good evening to you. Welcome to tonight's live broadcast. Okay. Before airtime, I went to see if there was a any updates that I could bring you all on Malia. There was a little, not much, but I am going to share that with you. I was about to move to Texas. No, Tammy, always 100, never fake. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stay where you at. Stay where you are. So we're going to talk about the Malia Davis case. We're also going to talk about the Malia Bates case as well. Um, but before we go there tonight, I'm going to talk about uh, what happened, I think, 48 hours ago in the United States. Uh, you hear me say all the time that if you ever want to know if something's working or not, all you have to do is look back at history and see where you're at. And you'll find your answer whether or not something is working. But if we keep doing the same old, and nothing is changing for the betterment, or if it's changing at all, it's changing entirely too slow, then maybe we need to go back to the tape and look at our strategy again. Ms. Bates, good evening to you. K. Cole, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm talking about the protests. The protests. I think I may have said this last night. The protests are not working. The protests are not working. We act as if there's nothing else we know to do to get the results that we, as Black people, are not only looking for, but deserve. Ms. Simmons says the whole system needs to be redesigned. Well, if you don't say nothing else doing this live feed, you just preach. I totally agree with you. They protesting to free. Manuel, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. You know what? I mean, sometimes, and I'm not saying there shouldn't be a protest for R. Kelly. If people want to protest to free R. Kelly, then that's their prerogative to do so. But if I had a choice, Mr. Scott, you're going to protest against inhumane treatment to Blacks by white police officers, or do you want to go out and protest to get R. Kelly free? Well, anyone that really knows me knows what the answer is going to be. We need to get justice for our people that's on the street, that are racially profiled every time they step outside of their door. If he's still there when this is over, then I fight for him then. What's important to some may not be important to others. I'm not saying that R. Kelly's freedom is not important to me. It is. But for the most part, R. Kelly's freedom better be important to him, whether it's important to anyone or not. And I said all that to say this. Sometimes we can put ourselves in situations that we really shouldn't be in, and it can make us look guilty even if we're not guilty. But I respect R. Kelly as far as the music industry is concerned. He is a genius at what he does. You cannot take that from him. But R. Kelly is where he's at. And so he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Okay. In 24 hours in the United States, 2 different states, 2 different Black men, different police officers, 2 Black men, both had their backs to police. Both Black men were shot in the back. Our officers. Let's stuff it out of order. Lafayette, Louisiana. A Black man had an encounter with the police department. The police alleges there was a disturbance call, and that's why they showed up on the scene. Tracy Taylor, good evening. Welcome, welcome. Rand 2112, welcome, welcome, welcome. And the Fearless One, good evening. Welcome. Now, here's the thing. The Black guy in Lafayette, Louisiana, according to the police, was asked to put down a knife that he had in his hand. Allegedly, he didn't do that. Instead of doing that, he did not vanish the weapon at the officers and in any aggressive way. For some reason, he attempted to go into a convenience store. That's when he was shot in the back. 11 rounds ring out. 11 bullets hit. The police department says we were thinking about the safety of the people in the store. So that's why we had to kill it. Listen, we were thinking about the safety of the people inside of the store. So that's why we pumped 11 bullets in it. Well, they couldn't have been thinking about the safety of the people in the store as much as they claimed, because the store was riddled with bullets from them. He didn't have a gun. They did. So, I mean, that's kind of double talking. You're not making any sense. I mean, you opened fire and you didn't have to. You did. But here's the thing about the police, two things. The police are taught to kill, not wound. Second, anytime they pump bullets in you, whether you live or die, if you let them tell the story, they will call it justifiable homicide. He would later be pronounced dead in a local hospital. This happened Friday, August 22nd. Wisconsin, August 23rd. Another black male, Blake, 29 years old. Oh, incidentally, Trey Ford was 31 years old. Jacob Blake, 29, August 23rd, 2020, unarmed. August 23rd, 2020, unarmed. Allegedly, there was a fight going on in the neighborhood. The brother stopped to break it up. That was it. Nothing else. Good evening, Miss Baker. Nothing else. Mind you, you've seen the video, I'm sure. He had on what looks like to be maybe a pair of sandals. He had on shorts and a t-shirt. There's nothing in his hand. Shortly before airtime, TMZ sent out another video of the incident from another angle. And we've shared that on the Injustice page. That showed Jacob Blake tussling with police officers. He gets up and he's walking, he's not running. He gets up, he's walking, he's not running. He's walking, his back is turned to them, his back is turned to them, his back is turned to them. Reaches for the door, the vehicle, open it. One officer has him by his shirt. Now, unless you super slow or super dumb, he wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't. He wasn't. Y'all are right on him. You right here. Put it! You got the shirt. Put it! And he comes with it. He's not going to get in that vehicle. He's not. The saddest thing was when I watched with my two eyes this white officer pump 7 bullets into this brother. 7 bullets. Now, there's no way on God's green earth that anyone can convince me that That's justifiable homicide. That's homicide, but it's not justifiable homicide. Too many blacks are being killed on I thought. Why did you kill him? I thought. Why did you shoot him? I thought. I thought. I thought. I thought. You thought. You thought, but you thought wrong. He's still fighting for his life. Very disturbing video because his children saw him get shot. They were in the field. His family and friends were out there. They saw him get shot. Well, we don't know what transpired earlier. I don't give a damn if he shot Donald Duck earlier. I'm looking at what he's not doing now. Not what he's doing, what he's not doing. He's not a threat. He's not. There was no need for one bullet. Not one bullet. If we're sending men and women out of the academy, especially white ones, that doesn't know how to deal with blacks any other way than pumping bullets into them, then they need not be on the force. Black people do not need to be taught how to interact with the police. The white police officers in this country needs to be taught how to interact with us. It's just that simple. The guy that they killed, Lafayette, Louisiana, about 3 weeks prior to that, a 42-year-old white man led him on a high-speed chase with weapon in hand. Listen, with weapon in hand. That 42-year-old white man is alive today. They didn't fire one shot. They didn't fire one shot. We keep saying, well, they keep saying, and hope we believe it, white people, they're just scared of blacks. Well, what the fuck are you applying for a police officer's position and you're a coward? White folks don't fear us. Cops don't fear us. This is their dream to kill us. I'm not buying that bullshit. It's not at the academy. It's not happening to white folks. It's happened to blacks. You protesting. That don't work. They still killing us. They still harassing us. They still racial profiling us. And yet you run up and down the interstate protesting, laying flat on an interstate. Hands up, don't shoot. Hands down, don't shoot. Boom, 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 boom. Protest now. Baltimore, Wisconsin, I think Michigan, and others. Just a little while ago. It's spreading like it did when they killed George Floyd. But let me tell you something about a protest. A protest can only last for so long before some of you niggas give up and say, I'm tired, I gotta go to work. A study was done several years ago, and it's still true to this day. Black people would probably protest between 2 and 3 months and then leave it alone. The justice system loves it because if anybody, police officer, is in custody, now the thing can simmer some. and they can do what they want to do because we don't give a damn no more. If they keep killing us and you still protesting, it has to be out of 50,000 people protesting, it has to be one with a brain. It has to be one. Bro, this shit ain't working no more. Yeah, man, this is how they did it in the 40s and the 50s. Hey, bro, this is 2020. And at the same time, you protesting about white cops killing blacks. You still shopping at white businesses. Some of these white businesses don't give a damn about you and your mama. Our fix will not come through protests. Our fix will come at the table with lawmakers and other leaders in the city and in the country. The police department will not fix it. It will be fixed by us. A system that's never been forced cannot be felonious. The criminal justice system is not broken. It was designed the way it is. I don't care who you are. I don't care what's in your bank account. I don't care about a prefix in front of your name. If you black, when they get from behind, out of your face, you ain't nothing but a low down, dirty 3/5 of a nigger to them. And that's what irks me so about black on black crime. White folks don't need help killing us. They do that very well. Now, the protest that's going on, why don't we do that for black on black crime? Let me tell you about the guy in Louisiana, a little more about him. His grandmother and aunt found out about his death by chance. By chance. The two had been out shopping. And as they was getting close to home, they saw a lot of blue lights. And the grandmother said, wonder what happened down there. Somebody probably had a wreck or something. And just as she said that, her cell phone began to ring. And it was a relative telling the grandmother, they just killed your grandson. Gets worse. Something that he don't regularly do. The day he got killed, earlier that day, she says he called me twice. And each time he said, I just called to say, I love you. Now you tell me that we need to continue to protest because things are going to get better. Things have been going to get better for blacks since I was 8 years old living in the damn bottoms. A change is going to come for us. Same story. I've been here since I was 8 years old. Well, when? When is the change going to come? The white man's not going to give you the change you're looking for. You have to fight just to live on planet Earth with them right now. You have to fight with them to keep a job. Fight with them to get a job. They're not going to fix it. We have to become the change we keep praying for. We keep looking for. In hopes of the government is going to fix us. The government is not going to fix us. To some, we don't exist. Good evening, caller. You're live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from tonight?
This is Carolyn calling from California.
Good evening, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm not okay, actually. I'm pissed, as usual.
Exactly.
Because I know you spoke about the baby yesterday, and I know you're getting to that, but I don't know if you mind if I comment.
No.
That.
No. Go ahead.
See, it seems like penis takes precedent over over priority.
Fix it.
Women in my generation and those younger seem to introduce men to their children entirely too early. They have this insecurity about themselves where they can't face being alone.
Mm-hmm.
So any piece of penis will do. And they'll do anything for that piece of penis.
Mm-hmm.
Avoiding, and that means giving up that sixth sense that God gave us to sense danger. We are charged to protect our children, to teach our children, to bring them up to be productive members of society. But how the hell are we going to do that if we're not that ourselves? You're okay with this man sitting here playing video games while you fix him something to eat. And you watching him because you don't want him to be watching Keisha down the street.
You better come on here.
Watching your 2-year-old.
You better preach
child.
it. You better come on.
That don't make no damn sense. You want him closer to you than your own damn child.
Come on.
See, these heifers need to wake up and open their eyes, because if he want to fuck Keisha, Keisha gonna get fucked.
That's it.
One way or another. Your priority is that child, not that penis, because when he walk out the door, it goes with him.
That's it.
And these poor babies are losing their lives. And for what? Because you're right, his acting sucked. I didn't hear about it until this morning. Well, like late last night, my mother called me. She said, Alfonso was on sale on Sunday.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah. I said, oh, I'll have to check it out. And I got to watching it. I got pissed off because I'm like, Malia, another beautiful black little child. I don't care if she was purple.
Mm-hmm.
She's a child. And you sitting up here talking about you done taught her 1, 2, 3. Why? You didn't know 4, 5, and 6? You video game playing motherfucker, you?
Come on with it. Come on.
See, you can't blame the police in this. I agree with your other guests. The parents need to be held accountable. I agree with you. Yes, lock their asses up. Because this is on you. You are supposed to watch these kids. I'm looking at these parents now who can't deal with their kids being at home. Hold up. You have them. Teachers are not babysitters. Oh, now you're realizing that it's hard. It's hard. What they got to deal with when your ass don't teach them at home. And that goes to the police too. Because the shit that they're doing that was taught. That was bred in them. It was bred, it all comes full circle. The shit that's going on in the world today, from women killing their kids or allowing men to kill their kids, from the police killing us, and we're allowing it to happen, it's bred in us somewhere. And that chain has to be broken. On every link gotta go.
Exactly. I totally agree.
This is ridiculous.
It is, and it's extremely easy to switch the blame when one don't want to take responsibility for their actions. If anybody can bash the police, it's me. But when the police are right, in my opinion, then they're right, and stuff. So you've made a lot of valid points tonight. And even when the man, the stepdad or whatever he is, does something to the child, I also have to point a finger at the mother.
Oh yeah,
because
you played a whole bunch of them.
Exactly. You have to know who you bring in your house around your children, especially if you have little girls, who is getting ready to lay in the bed with you. And he says, I love you. He sexts you like you never been sexed before. And you tell everybody, I love him. Girl, he's so good. He loves the kids and everything. I'm sure he does.
4 months, huh? It took 4 months for you to get that penis, because I'm going to keep calling it what it is. And all your parental love, all your parental guide, whatever you may have had for this child no longer takes precedence in your mind. He is now your priority. I've been single for 8 years. My son ain't seen not man come out. Well, hell, they don't look my way anyway. But either way it goes, even if they did, no. And he's 16.
Right.
But I want to set an example for him. And everybody's like, well, you got to live too. Who says I'm not? Who says I'm not okay in the space that I'm in without having a man around? Because the first time a man shows me that he's not worthy of being around my child, of being around me, you gotta go, bro. You can chew the wrong way with me, and it's
you know what?
It ain't gonna work.
Exactly. You made me think of something. Victoria, I love you big time. Thank you so much. She's tuning in from Galveston, Texas. Carolyn, you made me think about something Betty Wright said. I think it was back in the 80s. And we had a nice group to it. You danced to it on the dance floor. You did a little slow dance. You made love while it was playing. And Betty Wright said, having a piece of man is better than
having no man at all.
But listen, hopefully by now y'all know Betty lied. It sounds good. But you do not need a man that comes with a tag on the back says some assembly required. You don't. You need a whole man. You don't need something you got to put together where if you do this here, if you did this here, put it there. No, go find that. But sometimes before we can heal from the last relationship, you got your damn panties down again.
Yeah.
But along with that, sometimes it's just not the men. Sometimes the lady that pushed that child out is harming that child. Carolyn.
And I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. Now I'm going. rear my child. I'm not going to say what extent, but the Bible says, spoil the rod, ruin the child. Spare the rod, ruin the child.
Mm-hmm.
And trust and believe, I'm never spared the rod. But you have to instill in them discipline.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to set that example. And as far as these police,
mm-hmm.
I don't think they were set that example coming up. This is why, and now I can't always blame the parents because I know some good parents with fucked up kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Parents who really truly love their children and tried to do the best that they could, but their kids still turned out bad.
Exactly. And
but we gotta do something.
We have to. The protest, they're just not working. I mean, they might hold some things down for a minute, but in the last large protest that was kicked off with the killing of George Floyd, it went worldwide and it was wonderful and stuff. All races got together. But while all races was together marching and speaking, let us not forget they were still beating, putting us in chokehold, and they were still killing us. So that shit don't work no more. Okay, Carolyn, I love you big time. I know I'm going to speak with you tomorrow about the issue that I inboxed you about, and so we can get the ball on it. If Valerie's around, tell her I love her, and I'll talk with you guys later.
I'm sure she's watching.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
She preached. That's all I can say. She preached. Sandra Clark said, "And children are having children." So true. Let's get to Malia and Malia. We all know the story about Malia Davis from Houston, Texas. Tortured, used, abused, beaten, starved. Had to have several brain surgeries. One time, had to cut part of a skull out. Went to the doctor one time. The doctor said, well, we don't know how these injuries occurred, but here's what we do know, that she had a previous head injury that was never reported. We know that. We know she wasn't kidnapped. We know she was killed. And when Ms. Parrish called me and told me about this Malia, I was stunned. Not to mention, she's in Houston, Texas. Now, what I'm getting ready to tell you, it's no facts. It's just my opinion. And I never try and pass my opinion off as a fact. But I watched the stepdad's video. I found another one, a long one. And Cynthia can tell you, I probably played that thing 20 or 30 times today. And I'm taking notes. Because each time I go back, I get something that I didn't get before. I don't know what happened to Malia. I don't know who did it. All I know is a 2-year-old black girl in Houston, Texas is dead. One report said that she was found in a pond that was about 15 miles from where she disappeared. Another media outlet said it was 18 miles from where she allegedly disappeared. So I did my own thing today, and when I got to GPS and it said, oh, here it is right here. It was about 25 miles. In a vehicle, you can make it in about 25 minutes. Walking, I think it said it was a little over 5 hours. Now, I know this. She wasn't found dead in a pond in the back of the apartments where she was at. She was found floating in a pond, just for the sake of argument, many miles away from where she allegedly disappeared. Miss Ferris, you're late. Come see me tomorrow in office. You're late. I'm not gonna pull up to you. I'm not gonna do it. Uh, Now, I watched the video of the stepdad over and over and over again. Mr. Scott, is he the stepdad of the mom's? I stand to be corrected. The mom's boyfriend, Louise. I love you big time. Thank you, Canada. You're absolutely right. So we'll the mom's boyfriend. Thank you. And here's what I noticed from today. As he was speaking, by now you know I paid a lot of attention to body language, and I watched how he was so frigid. I know it was hot out there, but he had just a little sweat up there. He looked a little too calm for the way that he was going off about his love for the child. How he said he felt about it, he may love her. I can't say he don't. But from his high volume and his body language and his eyes, well, it didn't equal love, hurt, and pain. I'm not saying he killed her. I'm not saying he did anything to her, but something ain't right. Now, as he keeps moving backwards and forwards, he has a water bottle in his hand. It's empty. He has his finger on inside the water bottle. Now, while he's doing all this here, he's still holding on to that water bottle. Well, why is that important? Well, it's important because if he was that distraught, people drop things that they're holding when they're upset, when they're fussing. Water bottle, why are you holding on to it? He did. He did. Every time he came back up, we taught her ABCs, her 1, 2, 3s, taught her where she lived at. She came give me a hug because that's our routine. I don't see one damn tear. Now, mind you, just because you don't see a tear does not mean someone is lying or don't care about the individual that's deceased. People handle things differently. But in college, I studied body language. Tammy Baker said the mother killed her and both cut her up. Okay. All righty then. Okay. Now, the bottle he didn't drop. Something was going on in his apartment. Well, forget about that. The landlord who's running sex trafficking went to jail and got out the same day. But how in the hell does that connect to the child being dead? I've been trying all day and I can't connect it. I can't. Now watch this. Somebody tell me if this happened. I don't know. So if you know, please tell me now while we're live on air. The dog passed out. I guess from dehydration. So you talking about bad luck. It reminds me of that song by Teddy Pendergrass when he says everything's going wrong in your life. I'm gonna tell you what you got to say. You got a case of bad luck. And this brother had bad luck that day. Because not only was his daughter kidnapped and killed, the help that came wasn't much help because the dog was dehydrated and the dog passes out. the helicopter comes on E. There was nobody out there looking for my baby. My baby could have been anywhere. Well, I think we all know your baby could have been anywhere because she was. But the audacity to blame the Houston Police Department on your fuck up or your criminal activities. You couldn't have loved her that much because you are inside. You're playing a damn video game. She's 2 years old. She's outside. The relationship couldn't have been as tight as you're claiming it was. Good evening, call you live on air. What's your name and what state are you calling from this evening?
Hi, this is Val.
Ma'am?
From Reno. Yeah.
What's your name?
Valerie Montgomery from Bellflower, California.
Okay, Valerie. How are you?
Okay.
What you got?
Yeah, he did say the dog passed out. And
So-
then he said the helicopter ran out of gas. How did he know all this about a helicopter running out of gas?
That was new to me. I've never heard of that happening. I mean, I guess it does because it did it the other day.
What, the helicopter ran out of gas?
If you listen to him and believe him,
Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. He worried about everything. The dog passed out, the helicopter ran out of gas, and then just going on London. If that's not that baby's father, that makes me even more suspicious of him.
Exactly. So I'm wondering if we said a helicopter ran out of gas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the helicopter land there? And when it landed, realized that dog ain't got no gas.
Nobody said nothing about that. I said he was just, I think, wanting to be on the news and acting out to try to throw suspicion off of you, but he made himself even more suspicious.
I totally agree.
Big clients, like you said, water bottles,
Mhm.
and then like I said earlier, that blue wagon thing by him. That means they need to take his ass in and interrogate him if they ever get new, because he has something to do with it.
Mhm. And there was another thing that bothered me when he said that they wasn't looking for Malia. Well, I just want to ask him, well, what the hell were you doing? Were you looking? Because you seem to know everybody that was involved wasn't looking for her. So you had to be right there not looking for her yourself.
Yeah, and he up on weekend that they done look for it and they on Facebook. How you know they on Facebook? You can have their ass out looking for it. And my girl Facebook blasting me and my girl. Hold up, I ain't even say who they blast. You ain't doing nothing. You get out there to the party and search shit. Not standing here clowning in front of the darn news league.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think my opinion is that he was setting the stage for his defense.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. There was no tears whatsoever. And when he
Yeah.
tried to drop down to the ground with his damn boxer showing, the reporter said, well, when the last time you seen her, bro? I mean, because, I can smell bullshit a mile away, you know, and we're going to blame everybody but the right two people. I don't care if he didn't kill her. I don't care if the mother didn't kill her. But what I would like to see, both individuals locked up for child abandonment and child neglect. They have to take some responsibility in this, whether they was directly involved or not. But it bothers me about how in the hell did the child get that fucking far?
Somebody took her that far. She couldn't have traveled that far in 5 minutes. Somebody was out to find her. She was fixing me something to eat because we ain't ate. Take your ass to your mama house to eat. You land up on some woman and probably ain't got no job, maybe just got out of jail, to be, a little bit messed up in here, and you done something to that baby.
Exactly.
And I said, they need to be embarrassed if they start finding her guilty. I'm strongly believe in the death penalty. This would be a case. Like Jimmy Dennis needs to be in a chair too.
Let me pull that one.
Huh?
Let me pull a switch on that thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And so,
I'll sit there and get some popcorn and a beer, and I don't drink. We got two people need
If-
these babies are
if they put that execution on pay-per-view, I will pay for it. I'll pay to watch that one.
Yeah.
Valerie, I love you big time. I thank you so much for calling in.
All right, you still watching her. Let's see what else gonna come out of this case here.
All
Okay,
right.
well, you be careful. Mr.
All right.
Scott.
Love you big time.
You too. Bye-bye.
Now, y'all bashing me and my girl. No, me and my gal. Y'all bashing me and my gal on Facebook. If my child was missing or had been found dead, I don't know what they saying on Facebook. You know why? I'm not listening to. I'm not on Facebook. I don't. What they say? I don't know. That Facebook will not help me find my child or get justice for my child. So they bashing you and your gal. Are they right? Are they right? I did this. She learned to count because me and my gal taught her how to count themselves ABCs. You don't get no blue ribbon for that jackass. That's what you do as a parent. Step or not. That's what you do. There's no Nobel Peace Prize because you taught her how to count from 1, 2, 3 and ABC. That's what you do. You don't need to tell me that to prove that you love that child. Because the mouth will say anything. It'll say anything. They're supposed to have at least 4 or 5 dogs. Now they look at my child, and they had 1 dog. And he passed out. If your ass hadn't been playing a video game or doing whatever it is she was doing, you wouldn't have needed a dog. You wouldn't have. Again, I don't want to speak premature, but something is just not right. I watched the mother speak. I'm looking. I see her tears. Well, she did cry. Mm-hmm. So did. My mother used to love The Young and the Restless. And I would get upset with her as a child because she would be laying on the sofa watching The Young and the Restless, the guiding light edge of the world, and she'd be sitting there crying. I said, Mama, what's wrong? They gonna get a divorce. What the hell? You don't know these people. So my point is this. Cynthia laughing. So, and she like, you don't tell me what to do. And then she'll throw that shoe at me, right? But I'm like, you don't know. This is, I said, Mama, this is make-believe. While you crying, there's some party somewhere, enjoying life. That's not real. So it's easy to muster up a tear if you really want to. But just because a tear comes don't mean it's genuine. The last thing I'm gonna think about saying, talking to, first of all, if this just happened, me and the media can't talk right now. Y'all talk with the police. It's work call for me. I'm searching for my child. I'll give you an interview at an appointed time, but right now it's not that time. I'm not gonna be standing around waiting to be interviewed. My child is missing. And I must find her. It's not the police responsibility if you really look at it to find her. It's not the neighbors. It's yours. It's your job. That's your job. That's your job. But you want us to think that you're a father who knows best. I don't know what happened, how she got from the apartments to where they found her at. But I'm not believing any damn thing this dude is saying. I'm just not. I'm not. I am not. So maybe what they're saying about you guys on Facebook is true. my child wouldn't have been outside while me and my gal on the inside. My child won't be in here too. I don't even go with. I was looking at. I'm watching. I see everything she's doing. I'm in the window looking. Well, if you're not, if that child's not in a yard, and like in a apartment complex or just what some houses are in, do you know in about 2 or 3 seconds somebody can snatch the child and go? So by the time you get through looking and try to come out, boom, 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 that child's gone. We have to change the law. And I say this until they change it. If there's an inkling of suspicion, lock them up, and you can hold them for at least 90 days. I said this last night. If within that time something comes up like, I don't think they did it, you let them go. But they need to be held at least for 90 days. This is pathetic. This is pathetic. It's just pathetic. A 2-year-old child is not dead. Malia Davis is not dead because nobody gave a damn. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I shared a picture with you on YouTube and my Justice Investigations Facebook page of both Malia's together. And Malia Bates has one in black and white we put up, and she's kind of got her head down. I guess she's kind of like posing for the camera there, so we chose that one to put up with Malia Davis. 2 Malias, Houston, Texas. Both killed at the hands of someone who claimed they loved her. I have no sympathy for them. I know about protocol. I know sometimes the police can tell you that those 2 people, they're not suspects. They're not people of persons of interest. They're not. But you know what? They are. They don't want to spook them. A little before our time, they were still out there where her body had been found, looking for clues, still searching for businesses that may have surveillance video of. Because she couldn't have been in there too long. She couldn't have been. But had the job not went that way, we might still be wondering where she's at. If you love your child, then you show signs that you love your child. Louise, I have no earthly idea because I wouldn't do it. A mother wouldn't do it. A father wouldn't do it. Even a good stepfather wouldn't do it. Just wouldn't do it. It must stop. And it will only stop or have a drastic dent in it when we change laws and people know if they just got an inkling that I'm in it, whether I'm involved in it or not, I can go to jail and have to sit for 90 days. Saying this says certain things will not be tolerated. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But the last thing I would have been thinking about is what's on Facebook and giving a statement to the media. Ask the chief of police. He'll tell you what's going on. He'll tell you. My mind is not on standing in front of a damn camera. And he stood there for a minute. He stood there for a minute. Thanks, my mom. She'll tell you. Yeah, you're right. Allegedly, they had been only dating for about 4 months. Sometime that morning, when they found her, it was about 10:30 when a jogger spotted what she thought was a body in the water. She called her husband. He came, confirmed it. The police came, paramedics came. When they pulled her out the water, she was pronounced dead at 11:19 that morning. And I don't know what kids do at 2 years old that can make you become their killer. It's kind of like the pastor. If I can't trust my pastor who claims to be a man of God, who can I trust? Who can I trust? A child is a precious thing. And we're taking their life like it's the thing to do. Our children are under attack. They are. Roberta Rich said she couldn't have been out there too long because another adult would have seen her. Exactly. Exactly. Well, yes, we do know, Sandy. Yes, that certain things will not be released. Yeah, we know. Yeah. Okay. We're going to keep you up to date on this. This and other stories. If I'm here on a Sunday and a Monday, then to me it's a serious issue, and the killing of a child is a serious issue, and what's going on with unarmed black men in this country being shot in the back by police. Allegedly, the first one we talked about in Lafayette, Louisiana, it is alleged that he had a knife and would put the knife down. Okay, they said that's true, hypothetically. Okay, but if my back is turned to you, I'm of no threat to you. If you hit me with a taser, and they said he did, I don't know, I'm probably going to drop or hit that arm that I'm holding the knife with, and it's going to drop. But if you hit me with that taser, whatever is in my hand will fall. It will. There is no defense for absolute wrong. No defense. And the police department, this is what they hate after shooting a black person or killing. This is what they hate. That individual out there with a cell phone filming. They hate that. They hate that. Because it's harder to doctor the report up to please the public and try to make the one you killed out to be the bad guy. Because we got the little hookers on tape. I guess that's the reason why a lot of police departments, police units, unions are asking lawmakers in just about every state to make it illegal to film the police. Why would that bother you? I mean, why? I mean, you're doing your job, right? Right, so okay, that's no big deal, right? There must be a reason. We thought when the body cameras came out, that was black people's lifeline. It didn't do jack. Especially when an officer has the ability to cut it on and off. It's funny, a lot of times when things like this come, the officer's body cameras were not on. You should be terminated on the spot for that. You should be. Every time an officer of the law, I don't care if they caught him coming out of the break room with 2 packs of sugar. Still, if you write him up for it, the public needs to know it. The websites need to be put up where I can go and look at his performance. And that might tell me more than what he's telling me about why he did what he did. Do the public have a right to see their disciplinaries? You damn right. Yes, they do. You paying them. You paying them. My point is this. I wonder how many times has this happened and they've gotten away with it. That's the worst part about this. The other things along with that they may have done in the past that you and I would never know about because they didn't get any attention from the media. Archie said, Lord, a sad case again. Amen. It is. We have 2 black men within a 24-hour period in the United States, Wisconsin and Louisiana, that were shot in the back by police officers. Police officers all were placed on paid administrative leave. And that's a problem with me. A cop should not be receiving a check and he's not on the damn clock. The cop should not be laying there enjoying life while he has interrupted somebody else's life. My condolences goes out to the family of Malia, whoever loved her. I hope one day this week that there's an arrest made. Michael Jackson said, if you can't feed the baby, don't make the baby. You don't love the baby, why? It's beyond me. It's beyond me what is going on in the United States with our children. Our children are under attack from the ones who should be protecting them. And then you come up over the camera and do your damn little clown show. Until we set an example, this will get worse. You have to set an example. Well, if we have an inkling, now we can lock you up for 90 days. No, it's not open for discussion. Until make an example, it will continue. It's as simple as that. She wanted to be something. I'm sure she did. That's what he said. She wanted to be something. Yes. And I'm going to tell you what she wanted to be. Alive. That's what she wanted to be. Alive. You don't get no damn blue ribbon from me because you did this and you did that for her. That's what you're supposed to do. House them, clothe them, feed them, love them, take care of them. That's required. That's required when you make that seed. That's your seed. So that's required. There's no awards for doing what's required of you to do. As a father, guardian, stepfather, whatever the case may be. And before I go, it's not always just the stepfathers being wrong. We have to look at the one who gave birth to that child. Did she know? And if she did, why didn't she say anything? I think Carolyn said it best, and I'm going to say it a little rough. Don't let Dick cloud your vision. Don't let Dick cloud your vision. You are the protector of that child. That's it. If you're not financially able to have a child, don't. Why bring a child into existence only to kill them because you can do that? As always, I thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. Be the Lord willing, we will be back tomorrow night. Remember, I'm not always right and you are not always wrong. We'll see you tomorrow night.